A heavy burden hung suffocatingly in the air as a polished casket was being lowered slowly into the damp, mucky earth. It was an ill, miserable day, a day defined entirely by raw grief and empty consolation. Cold rain fell in unrelenting sheets, mixing with the tears of the onlookers as if the heavens themselves were grieving over a fallen ally. As the wooden box sank further into the dark ground, there was a sudden, sharp snap that echoed through the clearing. The rope lowering the casket tore apart. The large wooden box dangled helplessly for a split second by a single fraying cord before the hatch violently flew open. The corpse tumbled out, falling heavily into the bottom of the pit. The rain continued to lash down as saturated walls of the grave began to cave inward. Tires of a nearby excavator truck spun uselessly, spraying thick chunks of mud through the air. With a sudden, forward-jerking motion, the final cord snapped, and a heavy wooden coffin fell upside down into the hole. The velvet inside of the coffin was instantly ruined, buried in thick mud stains, and the corpse was ruthlessly crushed beneath the coffin's massive weight. The door to the excavator truck swung open. The driver stepped out, peering over the edge of the gravesite with a careless look. Before he could even process the disaster, a heavy, calloused hand grabbed him viciously by the shoulder and yanked him backwards, just as a massive flood of liquefied sod filled the disastrous hole. Gene's eyes narrowed with a primal, terrifying rage. He slammed the driver hard against the side of the truck, his teeth gritted, his nostrils flaring like a bewildered wild horse.
That man was a Green Beret,
Gene roared, his voice cutting through the thrum of the downpour.
Risked his life, so you're sorry fat ass didn't have to get deployed and end up in the dirt like him. All he asked for in his death was a decent, honorable burial, and you go mess it up with your incompetent driving skills.
The driver swallowed hard, pressing his back against the truck, trembling against the fearlessly deranged soldier towering over him.
I don't control the weather,
he stammered, his eyes wide.
Mistakes just happen.
A blind fire tormented Gene's eyes as he gripped the man tighter, ready to slam him into the steel frame again.
Gene, that is enough.
A dry, authoritative voice rang out through the rain. Gene's eyes snapped towards the sound. A tall, imposing man, adorned with countless medals and badges, pinned to his chest, stood at absolute attention.